Hello and welcome to Energizing Habits, simple strategies for a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. I'm your host, Vicky Cleary, and today I am enjoying the lovely weather out here on the back patio. So I wanted to share that with you. There may be, some neighborhood noise, suburban mid-America, maybe some dogs, maybe some kids. So hopefully we'll get through the episode without too many distractions. But it is quite nice out here. So if you have listened to my last two episodes, which are actually my first two episodes, you know that I created this video podcast to help professional and entrepreneurial women get out of stress and overwhelm so that they can be more productive, not just at work, but in life using simple, sustainable habit change. So today, again, I'm recording outside on this beautiful Labor Day weekend, knowing that this episode will go live tomorrow, which is Labor Day. It's the holiday that really calls an end to summer, right? And even though summer doesn't technically end until like September 21st, 22nd, I think it's the 22nd this year with the fall equinox. Now, where I live in Wichita, Kansas, most of the kids are already back in school, have been for about 3 weeks, at least for my daughter. So 3 weeks, which already feels like, the end of summer. We're already getting into our fall routines. The weather is starting to cool off a little bit, luckily for us, no more 100+ days. But still, Labor Day weekend really feels like that line in the sand where it's the end of summer, it's the start of fall. It also means that we've got about 4 months left until the end of the year, which means we've got like a quick slide coming between, we've got Halloween and then Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we've got the locusts singing now in the background. So that's awesome. But with all of this, right, it got me thinking about vacation time. Now, whether your vacation time resets, with the calendar year or maybe with your work anniversary, it's always a good idea to have a plan for how you're going to use it. Then it also kind of got me wondering, like, how many of you actually use your vacation time? How many are you leaving vacation time on the table? So I got some research. I dug in to some research that was done. First one was done in 2018 by the U.S. Travel Association. And they reported that each year, at least up till 2018, more than half of Americans leave vacation time on the table. And in 2018, it accumulated to 768 million days. That's a lot of vacation time not getting used. That sounds like a lot of Americans like on the verge of burnout, right? Of course, we don't know how many any particular person was leaving on the table, but that's a lot of days. Now, Qualtrics was another research organization, published their research earlier this year, so March of 2022, and their results show that only 27% used their allocated paid vacation time last year, so in 2021. They also found that employees reported working at least 1 hour during their vacation, each day of their vacation. So the time that is meant for you to have off, you're spent, getting in and working some of that time. Another 26% they reported had a week or more of unused time left over at the end of 2021. Now, these people reported leaving that time on the table because they felt uncomfortable taking all the vacation time offered to them. And the top 3 reasons for feeling uncomfortable, they were worried about falling behind on their work. And you've heard some people say, if I take too much time off, I have to pay for it on the back end, right? When I get back to work, then I'm spent working extra hours and all this. They may have fear letting down a team or maybe pressure from other coworkers. But more research shows that rested employees are more productive employees. Now, this is, we've heard this time and time again, but still, so many people are not taking full advantage of their vacation time. Some of the benefits that taking time off from work can, some of the benefits of that are improved mental health. So of course, it helps you to recharge and reset, improve physical health, reducing stress, when you get away from some of that day-to-day stress, it gets your body out of that sympathetic stress response that you can find yourself day after day, with work and family and all these obligations. Now, that if you don't mitigate those side effects, then you can, oh, I just lost my place. Yeah, it can lead to burnout, right? So, which is again, one reason why so many people not taking all this vacation time are starting to face some of the effects of burnout. Taking vacation time can improve relationships. It can improve your motivation. You have more clarity and productivity, which we've kind of hit on already, but you return to work with a fresh perspective. Taking vacation time does reduce the risk for burnout, and it can also help increase happiness. So one thing to keep in mind, right, is that your employers, well, many employers, I can't speak for every employer, but many employers want you to use your vacation time for all of those reasons that I just listed. They don't want you to get burned out. But even so, more Qualtrics research, right? 45% of US employees get 2 weeks or less of paid vacation each year. And nearly 1 in 10, so about 9% on the study, get none at all. No paid vacation time. So if you're going to take days off, you just don't get paid for it, which understandably so is one key reason why some people are not taking vacation, because they're not going to get paid, which means they're not going to have money in their account to put food on the table. So another 32% of employees now say that their unused vacation days don't roll over, and 28% say that they don't get paid for unused vacation days. So those last two, it's kind of this use it or lose it scenario, right? If you don't use those days, you lose the benefit. And that alone is kind of one key reason to take those vacation days so that you can reap all the benefits that your employer is offering you. Now, the limits and rules around vacation that employers can impose are really pretty astounding to me, especially given that the research that shows just the massive benefits for people taking solid time off from work. So regardless, you really need to use your vacation time, right? It's good for your mental, it's good for your physical health, it's good for if you got family at home, it's good for reconnecting and just being in a better place with yourself and with them, right? So let's see. I wanted to share some tips about making the most of your vacation time to beat burnout and workplace stress. Now, these tips are from my own personal experience. So I've been a working professional since 2021, not 2021. 2001. Yes, I've been a working professional for 1 year. No, since 2001, when I first joined like the career workforce, right? When I really started my career. But I have, had a couple of different ways vacation has been offered, a couple of different ways in which I've chosen to use it. And in some cases, I've had to, manage the way to use it around, family, having a baby, having a Charlie pup, a puppy dog. So there's all these different things that, that can come up with how we need to use our vacation time. We can't always use it to go to the beach, right? But the first tip number 1, is to have a plan for using all of your days. I like to use a spreadsheet. And you probably remember from one of the first 2 episodes, I'm a project manager. Project managers tend to love spreadsheets. It just helps me to see without having to calculate out. It's just a quick way for me to be able to see, because my vacation time also right now resets on my anniversary rather than end of the year. So it's a little bit different way, and I haven't fully acclimated to that. But I make a plan. How many hours do I have? How many, where am I going to spend it? Now, if you need to take if you need to reserve some time for childcare or potential illness, because some people don't get sick days, that's fine. But set a date for when you will repurpose those days so that you don't lose them, right? Because sometimes we'll say, oh, I'm reserving those days in case my kid gets sick or in case I get sick. But with about a month to go, those 2 or 3 days, you should be able to pencil them on the calendar so that you can use them for yourself. because that will also help keep you from getting sick. It helps your de-stressing helps to boost your immunity. So that's another benefit. Tip number 2, aim for more days at one time versus a day here, a day there. The more days that you're away from work, the more that your mind and your body can decompress. Now, there's some other studies that say it takes 2 weeks to fully decompress from work. But we can't always take 2 weeks off of work in one shot. So the more days that you can take off consecutively, the better. I like to mix it up. So I will take a day or two here and there with just a few of my days. So sometimes I'm taking a day off around my daughter's day off from school. Sometimes I'll extend a holiday, which is, I think, one of my other tips. So I won't get into too much of that. But and then I also like to take at least one solid week off. And we usually use that for our family vacation. That way I kind of get this longer vacation time, and I also get some short burst vacation time. But now my previous job, they had implemented this month-long sabbatical, and I was fortunate enough to be able to use that. I was there long enough, right, to be able to use that. And sabbaticals, I mean, there's all kinds of research again about sabbaticals and taking that time off, because it's a longer period of time that you're taking off and fully decompressing from your workplace. And I can tell you from personal experience that taking longer time away from work really does allow you to decompress more fully and come back to work more, fresher, more engaged. Tip number 3, avoid the workcation. So the point of vacation is to take a break from work, right? So do it. Now, this really gets into setting boundaries, both for yourself and for your employer, to really honor this time away. Now, occasionally, an emergency may come up. It may happen where you might need to do some work, but keep this time to a minimum. It's so important. Now, tip number 4, when you take time off, take it off. So this is tied to tip number 3, but don't use it for side hustling. So I'm speaking to my entrepreneurs, my side hustling entrepreneurs. Keep it to a minimum, okay? Now, I have been guilty of this so many times. Working on my side hustle while on vacation, it seems like you finally have time to get stuff done, but you're still not allowing yourself to decompress. You're still working, really, right? Your brain needs a break, just like your body does. So it's important that you allow it that time. Now, if you do need to take some time to focus on your side business, schedule very specific days for that purpose. Don't try to squeeze it in around, vacation and, trips with the family or whatever you're going to do. Tip number 5 is cross training. So whether you're at work or not, your work tasks still need to get done. This is where cross-training your coworkers comes in handy. Now, not all employers understand how powerful this can be, but many do. So if you're in a place, if your workspace doesn't have this, you might talk to your employer about how they can benefit from it, right? And it's simply having another coworker learn the tasks that you would normally do, and they cover them while you're gone. So the ramifications, you be gone, when you come back, you have less to catch up on. Some of that work gets done in a more timely fashion because it's not waiting for you to return. But also, this cross-training idea comes in handy for not unplanned outages, right? So if you are unexpectedly sick, especially for an extended period of time, now you've got that coworker who already knows and understands what you do, so that they can come in and help take care of that stuff. So employers can find that super valuable. So if you're not already cross-training for purposes of vacation, that's yet another reason to start talking about doing it. All right. Tip number 6, don't feel guilty. I missed a part of my tip number 5. Okay. So back to cross training for just a moment. So one of the things that I like to do, I like to start preparing that coworker 3 to 4 weeks in advance for the things that are going to happen. So this means I'm not scrambling the last few days before taking time off. It means they have a chance to start to understand any workflow and new processes, any of the people that they're going to have to work with. So really starting to allow them to kind of get integrated a little bit better. So it's not just like, here's my work, dump it on them, and off you go. They can appreciate that a little bit more as well. Okay, tip number 6 now, don't feel guilty. So again, you're asking your coworkers to take over some of your work while you're gone. You're asking your employer to, let you go on gallivant across the US or whatever you're going to do for a week. Don't feel guilty, okay? This is time off that you have deserved, you've earned it. Now, when it comes to your coworkers, you've cross-trained them, they may cross-train you, and maybe you can, have a little teamwork action where, I'm going to cover for you, and then you're going to cover for me. And so we don't have to feel guilty because we're working together so that we can both have time away and come back stronger. My last tip number 7. Try using vacation days around holidays, which is something I mentioned above as one of my strategies. You get an extra day off, so you get a longer stretch of time without impacting the number of days you're taking vacation time for. So you get a little extra bang for your buck. So just like this Labor Day weekend, I took Friday off, so I got a 4-day weekend rather than just 3. That extra day, that 4th day, I got a lot of house cleaning done. I've done a lot of things, but Monday I really get to just decompress. It really is going to feel like a vacation. So let me recap these tips for you. There's 7, there's quite a bit, right? So first, you're going to have a plan for using all of your days. Second, you're going to aim for more days at one time versus 1 or 2 days here and there. You can even do a mix of both. Tip 3, avoid the workcation, not working on your vacation as much as possible, which also is along the lines of tip number 4, avoiding the side hustlecation, unless you're taking days off to purposefully focus on that side hustle. Tip number 5, cross-training your team members and planning up 3 to 4 weeks in advance so that they're not feeling you're just dumping your work on them. Tip number 6, don't feel guilty. You've earned it, you deserve it, and you need it so that you can come back feeling refreshed and more productive. And tip number 7, use vacation days around holidays to increase that vacation bang for your buck. Now, your energizing action for today, because I like to leave you with that one easy thing, well, not always easy, simple thing that you can do to start to integrate some of these habits and actions into your lifestyle. So that energizing action for today is review your plan or create a plan to use your vacation days. So take a note of how many days you have left before they renew, or how many days you have for the year, and plot out when you're going to use those days. Try to get at least one block of 4 to 5 days off. Whether you're pairing around a holiday or taking a solid stretch of days, try for a solid block of days off. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share around vacation time and helping you to de-stress and decompress. But I also want to remind you about my upcoming free challenge, the 5-day Metabolic Jumpstart Challenge. Now, we start on September 19th, so it's just a few weeks away in my Facebook group, the Uplift Habit Shift. So we're going to learn about 5 habits that you can implement to boost your metabolism and convert your energy, your calories, more efficiently. I'm going to post the link below in the show notes. So you can check it out. You can also head to uplifthealthylifestyle.com. Should be a pop-up that comes at you where you can take a look and sign up. Now, when you do register, it is free, but you'll have the option to upgrade to the VIP group, where you'll get access to a private group Zoom call where we're going to dive deeper into metabolism. You can ask your questions live, and so we'll have this group coaching situation. It's usually quite fun. We get to learn from each other and all the different things that people are going through and struggling with on their metabolism. So you can check that out with the links below. That is what I have for you. If you found this session valuable, please like it, leave a review or post in the comments below. And of course, share it with someone who maybe could use a little refresher about why it's so important to use your vacation time. Again, I am grateful for you and appreciate you tuning in. So if you have any questions about creating a healthy lifestyle that works for you, you can send them my way. You can do Facebook or Instagram Messenger at Uplift Healthy Lifestyle, or you can email me at Vicky@uplifthealthylifestyle.com. So that is all I have. I hope you have an energized day. Have an energized and safe holiday weekend.